What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sal in the building. And today's episode is 213 for September 11th, 2017. First and foremost, of course, man, I remember it just like yesterday, you know, when the planes flew into the Twin Towers. A lot of things have happened since then, but much respect to the people who supposedly died in the September 11th situation. All right. Michael B, Jeff Thayer, Relative 9696, Cali Kiko 30 or Dirty. So far, so good. I mean, you know, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit for the day. I mean, there were some stocks that I thought were going to run, didn't even budge today. Again, thank you to all the people who are watching this now and in the future. Mr. Maniac, Roger Gray, Robert Turman. People slowly coming into the chat room. Let me go ahead and get the show started with, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Corley. Thank you, Corley. Jose Cornell, Mr. JRH. I mean, you know, this market just keeps sending us so many different signals. So many different signals. We got a little bit more clarification. Looks like the Democrats and Republicans have decided that they're going to stop pretending and just go ahead and let our government print as much money as they want. The so-called debt ceiling basically has just been lifted permanently. So there's basically not going to be any more debt ceilings. So now we're just going to just print cash. That's what we're going to do. Just print all the money we need. And, you know, that's what it is going to be. I mean, I don't know how long we can continue to borrow like this and continue to pass our bills down generation to generation to generation. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Today's move, watching again the technology sector, the Qs, because that's pretty much how we got here in the market. With this bull market, it has been technology, as you see here, the huge gap up or rising window, whatever you want to call it, with today's morning move. And you know, we saw some good news drop. I know we're looking forward to tomorrow, the iPhone 10 coming out. So you had some people excited about Apple, great Amazon news. So there were a lot of good things going. Some biotech plays we had run today. Today was another great day for the VIX put buyers, many of whom who have made thousands, hundreds, millions of dollars just shorting that one ETF. Bat Scientist, what's up, man? And Bullard, hey. Yes, shout out to all the people in the Caribbean who made it through the storm. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't. And I really hope the Caribbean countries get the help they need, especially the ones that are unfortunately managed by, you know, those European nations, because I know they can be kind of cheap when it comes to taking care of their Caribbean islands, you know. So hopefully that gets taken care of. Fuck QQ. Spencer Corbin, what's up, man? Matai Tama. STRL Construction got a huge job in Cali. Let's take a look at STRL. Wow, okay. Up 6%. That's a nice move for a stock like that. $13.75 a share. That's a nice move for them. Sterling Construction Company. Looks like a real company here, although it is a micro cap. It does have a very small market cap, $300 million company. They've got over 1,600 employees, though. I mean, this is pretty decent size. So are we talking about something that's undervalued here? Or are we just, let's go back in the chart a little bit. And they've been doing really well here. Look at that. This is, you know, pretty nice last 2 years in the company. Looks like a solid buy and hold. I'm not sure what happened here in August. Looks like some poor earnings. But, man, way to work its way back higher. Almost $4 a share in the last week and a half alone. STRL. All right, nice. That looks like a real company, though. Definitely looks like a real company. All right. IMGN. I want to see what you guys are trading before I talk about what ran today. IMGN. Immunogen up 1% on today's move. Again, here's another one with a very nice chart here for 2017. You got some peaks and valleys there, but looks like guys who decided to stay long and held in have done very well. You almost broke out of that 750 resistance, but it looks like you're having some trouble up there. Not bad. You're at 755 now. You keep fighting it. You keep fighting it. Maybe you can finally do it and stay up there. Let me know what the story is behind that. Don't know much about that ticker. Say Kramer on Mad Money passed down. Jeff, what do you mean by that? FUTL. All right, FUTL, beautiful looking cup. That's starting there. FUTL, nice move, up 70% today. I know FUTL goes, you know, like, do they have something in common with AZFL? Are they like sister companies or something like that? If I remember the last time AZFL ran, FUTL did kind of run too. It's been a while, so I've got to, since I've looked at their books. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, AZFL is just in a whole nother level. I mean, we've, you know, AZFL is just on a whole nother level. I mean, we started looking at AZFL here at 0018, and it's at 0063. Haven't touched it, but again, I mean, this is insane. I mean, the stock's up over 330% since we took a look at it the very first time. 50% move today alone. You know, you got some selling pressure at the top with today's move, but, you know, this is crazy. This is crazy on AZFL. People really love it. I don't know what's going on with it, though. But beautiful looking chart. If anything, I think, you know, can you say you're too late? You know, looking at the chart now, you could say you're too late. You know, but I think you could have said the same thing last week. So you just really never know with these things. But that's why it's trading. You know, you got to put up the risk, I guess. But you got to remember, go back to AZFL and go and see how that thing, you know, when it got to those tops, which I'm not, for whatever reason, seeing in the chart, because I know this isn't the first time this thing is ran. You might want to go back to, I don't want to go dig it up now, but I was having trouble finding that past history on it. Okay, STRL was on TV. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Jeff. All right. What's up, Kelly girl? Equity offer. What's your opinion on equity offerings? I'm not a big fan of the equity offerings off top, just because we had a couple people in here get burned on Snap when they came out. So it looks, for me, I feel like just let it go public. You know, let's see what the excitement is about. If it holds its IPO price and it starts to rally, then, you know, go ahead and make a move then. But, you know, we saw right here on the show Snap open up and just literally fall on its ass. So ever since then, and I've kind of been like pretty easy on IPOs, you know. A lot of people in here were excited about that, and it just didn't work out, you know. And they sold that really good. I mean, if you remember, you know, all the conversation that was on MSNBC and all that, CNBC and all that. Snap, oh my God, it's a new company. Could be the new Facebook, could be the, oh my God. They really sold that. Cool Cats, you're saying it's not too late to be an AZFL? 30 cents. Yeah, I saw the Saints game. I was watching a little bit of the Saints game. I was like, man, Saints being the same old Saints. Horrible defense. Drew Brees got to do all the damn work. same old Saints, man. So I'm like, let me just go live. AKS. AKS, this is a steel play, and they've been doing so bad. You know, right now when it comes to infrastructure plays, I'm not touching anything unless we get more news about this wall. Again, and now that Trump has basically been giving a blank check from the Federal Reserve and from our congressmen and senators, let's see if he's going to write a check for the wall. And if that happens, then we get back on infrastructure plays like this. Until then, I think you got to go technology and basically whatever's running and hot. All right. Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. I agree with you there. Yeah, we just pulled that up. ROX. Rox brand. Yeah, this is a stock that I've been following because it had really good volatility in the summer. But, you know, that 146 was that, you know, it just had to maintain that, and it just never was able to stay, you know, on top of it for August. As you can see, the 146, it got back and closed over 146, which is interesting because they're showing that the buyers are committing to possibly having this do something again. But, you know, I don't know. I think you got some resistance up there. You're struggling. I mean, you're struggling just to maintain these levels from this summer. And are you going to get back to being, you know, that kind of crappy stock that it's always been, sub $1? Time will tell. All right. X. Yeah, here's X, U.S. Steel. You know, again, decent chart, very slow. I mean, it's slow and safe, but again, I'm you know, decent chart. I mean, it's one of those things. If you want to hang around and see what happens, I think buy. You know, I wouldn't maybe go in. I just probably buy some options on it. Maybe some of those $30 calls. Put some time on it. Maybe go as far as December, maybe even January. And again, if he's not going to build that wall or really start talking about an infrastructure move, I just don't see where infrastructure plays like X and AKS do for the rest of the year. SAEX. SAEX, nice move on that one. I think we had, where are we at on crude right now? Are we still? Damn. All right. So we're still sub 50 on crude. Okay. All right. So that's an unusual move for SAEX. What was the news there then? All right. So that's clearly a short opportunity there on SAEX. You actually moved. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah. You basically moved, well, slightly higher for the day. I mean, you know, almost 30 cents from yesterday's close in crude, but I feel like that move is a bit exaggerated. Obviously, we had a 25% day in SAEX. I would, you know, I'm going to put this on my short list today. Speaking of stocks to short, I mean, you should have seen, gosh, what was that play today? That was a beautiful move. I forgot what it was. We'll look at it up here in just a second. But SAEX is way overextended. I mean, it's a low volume play, but I just don't understand where that move came from. Bitcoin is falling on its ass, man. I don't know what's going on with Bitcoin. It's falling on its ass. Bitcoin is falling on its ass, man. Just when I started getting excited about Bitcoin, the party might be over. ONCI, nice move. Shout out to all the OTC people in here, man. I know we haven't been, you know, we've been mixing it up, you know, OTC and NASDAQ, just because people have different brokers and want different things out of trading penny stocks. But those of you guys who have been sticking with OTCs lately, you've been doing really well if you decide just to kind of be a little bit patient with the money. Because, I mean, look at moves like ONCI, just really, you know, this has been an awesome September. This has really been an awesome September. for ONCI, a stock that started off at 0030, now crossing the penny mark. I got to give it to you with that one. I mean, ONCI, nice move. Nice move on that one. Nice move. Very liquid, too. Stock's been putting out a lot of news. It's been a long time since I've been watching the stock, but, you know, sometimes you just get patient on these, and they do right. They do right by the investors. And I think now, especially if you were some of the people who got in pretty early, you got to be taking your profits here, okay? I know many times we've talked about, you know, that 10,000 bagger and all that, being able to put 1,000 down and selling one day at 10 cents for, you know, 6 figures. Of course, that's the dream of any guy who trades these OTC type plays, but you got to be realistic about things. And if you're in big and you're up big, take your profits. All right, TXTM, big volume. That's been a stock that's been having a hard time. TXTM OTC side, 1 second. Yeah, this is a stock that's just been having a real hard time of getting out of that triples. I mean, but again, that's always these stocks that are coming out of that 0003, 0004. It's so easy for somebody to drop $500, make 1,000 to 1,500 from, you know, 0004 to 0008 or 0012 and sell. It's so easy to do that over and over again, but it's very frustrating for people who, you know, want to see higher levels and higher, you know, profit on their money. So just keep fighting it. Nice day, 0008, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see that sell off tomorrow. Fatburger is going public. Fatburger. Yeah, I know they're big out in the West Coast. I've only had Fatburger one time, and it was okay. I wasn't like crazy about it. You know, they're not Five Guys. They're not Five Guys. I still think Five Guys is by far the most delicious fast food burger I've ever had. And they're not even like fast like that, but they're fucking delicious. African Pphm to China, your situation, yeah, they got to get rid of it. I think China, you know, people forget that China is a communist country, man. So, you know, anything that they can't control, you know, they're going to try to put a lid on it. But people forget China's a communist country. You know, their capitalism is faux capitalism. You know, China's one of those countries where, like, you know, they basically choose who becomes rich and who doesn't. You know, you can't really just start something and get up there. You really got to kiss ass and be born into the right family and all that kind of crap. At least in America, you got a chance. AMD, Athlon Medical Incorporated, up 25% with today's move. Very light volume. I don't know. Yeah, man, this is way too light. Only 60,000 shares traded today. I'd ignore that. Said cannabis is trying to recover. Let me see here. What's a really volatile cannabis stock? I saw ACBFF off the top of my head. I did see ACBFF put up 4%. That's the little Canadian play. That's a little Canadian OTC play. What's MCOA doing off the top of my head? And again, I'm just going off the top of my head. You know, all right. So I know they're more, you know, but to see MCOA put up 2.5 million shares, that's pretty interesting. Up 3%. Office Depot. Yeah, we talked about Office Depot, you know, this past week. And I thought it'd be a really good hurricane recovery stock. Again, all the stocks I thought that would really, you know, benefit off, you know, the hurricane just didn't do so well. But then again, we didn't necessarily have, you know, a strong, like, it didn't really tear shit apart. You know what I mean? I think if anybody who was watching CNN and whatnot, you actually saw them kind of be disappointed because they thought the damage would be a little bit more extensive. 251, you're on the air. What's up?
What's going on, sir? This is Anthony, man.
Hey, Anthony, what's up?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just sitting up here listening to the show, man. You know, I had a question about one ticker.
Okay, go ahead.
It's FALC.
All right, so that FALC was one that ran today. I saw that I traded that along with Africa Emporium, ATL Trader, and a bunch of other people. It just had a beautiful opening, and slight pullback as you see here on the 5-minute chart. It just held all the moving averages, some of my favorites anyway, all day today, and you just had to jump in it. And then of course it started to sell off, as predicted, and as typically you'll see during a trading day. I don't, I see it did hold 76, 77 pretty well. Yeah, you came back.
It pulled back a minute, a few after that, and then it regained those losses.
Yeah. I saw ATL Trader bring it up too. I mean, he wasn't sure about it, and I thought we were going to have a stronger power hour than we did. But I mean, traders, committed to holding these levels, so it's going to be interesting to seeing what happens tomorrow. Now, are you in the stock?
No, I was, and that's why I was calling in today to find out about it, because I was actually getting in at that. I think it was like 65. Yeah, 65 cents.
Yeah, you had the stock ran. The stock didn't have any news, but in my opinion, it ran because you did have an IT-based software company get bought out today. It was a large cap company, so I don't know if I would probably consider this like a pity run. I can't remember what the name of it is. I think if you go to marketcap.com, you can pull it up, or MarketWatch, excuse me. You can pull up. But there was a software IT-based company that got bought out today. So, FALC looks like a pity run. I wouldn't, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this tomorrow. Personally, I think it's a sell-off because there was no story here. There's really nothing to keep it, this high. So we'll see what happens on it tomorrow.
Yeah, see if it retests.
Possibly if it does retest, it's going to be very early. I'm talking 9:30 to like 9:50, and if we fail a retest of, if we fail 80, 85, 90, this thing is coming all the way back down, and you're going to retest support again at 65 if you're not careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sir, man. I appreciate it, man. I was just, like I said, I was just inquiring about it because I was looking at how much it was up.
Yeah. It was up. It was up basically on that news, that buyout news. And, people who can't get in on those larger caps, they try to find something on the small side that they can, jump in and possibly take advantage of the sector-wide move for the industry. But, again, I don't see these prices maintaining over the course of several days.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sir, man. Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anthony. But, yeah, I can see a quick sell-off just as quickly as you see in the chart there where, after 11 exactly, almost after, 11:30, it just fell on its ass, losing close to 50% of its value. There was one time, if you guys remember, the stock was up almost 117% on the day. Yeah, 130%, right. So you lost almost 50% of your value if you didn't know what you were doing and you bought too high. Again, that's why you really want to, follow your moving averages, have your RSI out, look at the chart, and making sure you're not, getting past the bag. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, some of these stocks are like playing hot potato. All right, definitely press that like button. Press that like button. CHK, man, it's very, CHK has just been one of those things that's been quite a disappointment. Again, it's just, It's oversold. It's got every reason to run, but you're just not getting confirmation on it. You're just not getting any confirmation on it. Natural gas is beaten to death. It just doesn't make sense at this point. Just not making sense at this point. On CHK. One more day and I'm letting it go. You can't win them all. Let me see here. What else you guys are looking at here? I'm not seeing anything running after hours. I'm not seeing anything run after hours right now. Let's see here. Is anybody in here in AZFL? Like you're in it and you're up real nice? Is anybody in here in AZFL right now? I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, up 70%. Tahoe Resources. Damn, putting up $100 million today. And what's going on, Terry Cherry? I see you. ACHN. Acaleon Pharmaceuticals. I don't know what happened there. Crashed 22, lost over 22% of its value today. Looks like the company Johnson & Johnson has decided to walk away from an agreement that they had with their hepatitis C drug. So Johnson & Johnson is decided basically they didn't want to renew with Acaleon Pharmaceuticals. And look, I mean, obviously Johnson & Johnson, you know, well-known company, billion dollar company. You know, when they walk away from you and you're a small cap company, and that kind of cash flow can mean night and day for your business. Yeah, that's gotta hurt, man. But a 22% loss, though, I mean, damn. I mean, you're gonna have to probably read how valuable the deal was. You know, because that either this is a situation where the market's a little bit overreacting, because I do see here you had some buying pressure at the bottom of this dip here. You got some people in it at in the 360s. It's going to be telling to see what happens tomorrow if people dip buy this, and whether or not they have some other customers who are, you know, also in agreement with them for that drug. Otis Johnson, you're in. Poker Pro, Africa Emporium. Okay. Couple people in here. Yeah, I'm of the assertion that FALC will sell off tomorrow, just because you'll have people who aren't going to want those higher prices for a stock that didn't and shouldn't have ran. I don't know why you buy it tomorrow after like 9:45. I think if you're holding FALC, you know, at 85, 80 cents, you know, what's the reason? You know, for what? 206. You on the air, Mr. Lloyd? What's up?
Man, a lot of shit went down today, man.
Yeah,
a lot of
busy
shit.
day.
You know, that guy with that FALC, man. You know, let me tell you, I just had a flashback about drives. I have never ever seen anything like drives, man. That shit just fathom me how it goes from $2 to $90 in a few days, and it just, you know, I'm congrats on that guy who made $3 grand, man, because I could never catch these spikes like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you always hear about it afterwards, but shit, how do you see that shit before? You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, an intraday scanner, you know, showing anything that's, you know, up 15 or 20% or some kind of unusual volume scanner, you can kind of find those plays. But yeah, man, it does take, you know, quite a bit of discipline to get it.
Well, you want to hear something sick? So the PCLN trade, man. Woof, man. I bought that contract for $1,700.
Okay.
And it was Friday I bought it. It was beginning of the morning. I said, I'm gonna just buy this because I know it's gonna go up. I don't care what's gonna happen. I'm gonna stay in this trade no matter what. Here it is. It was midday. I was already up $400. I'm thinking to myself, shit. This is my goal, my $400 a day. Let me just go ahead and take it, or should I just stick to my word and hold on to it? I said, okay, fuck, I'm gonna just hold on. At the end of the day, the fucking big ass sell off happened. I was negative 660 by the end of the day. Okay.
Shit.
Can you just imagine looking at a negative 660?
Hold on. I'm looking at PCLN. It looks like you were actually higher at the end of the day. What happened there?
No. That was Friday. I bought up the contract for
Friday's
next week.
Move. Oh shit. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I got caught.
All right. So I'm looking at Friday's move though. You ended up higher. Oh well. When did you buy it though?
I bought it in the morning before I went to work.
Okay. Well, depending.
So I bought it. It was like $17 a contract. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and just get one contract. I said, you know what? I need to have faith in my method, or faith in just my understanding of what I'm doing. And sure enough, man, my confidence level went from 100 to negative 2%.
Yeah.
Because that big ass drop. I'm looking at this chart all weekend. I'm like, man, this shit looks like a bearish as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What was the expiration?
This Friday.
Oh shit, man! That's why you love these.
No. This from coming. I gave myself a week out. It was good.
Okay.
It was good. But here's the thing, man. When it comes to technical analysis, I looked at this chart all weekend. It looked bearish. All get up, man. All get up. The only reason why this chart moved is because of what happened with the futures. But every candlestick analysis I was looking at, everything I had on my chart said, hey, this shit's going to go down no matter what. So, these charts gives me mixed emotions. And sometimes I ask myself, am I really reading charts? Am I doing what is necessary to understand why I'm getting into the trade? Because if you look at it, and I don't know, let me see, what chart do you don't have the, oh, that's right, I got you on pause. Give me one second, let me see what you have up.
Yeah, I got the daily chart up now.
Yeah, let me take a look here. Fast forward. Yeah, so I end up, oh, that's a daily? Here, go to like a 4-hour chart.
Okay, 4 hour. Okay.
All right. Where the hell is it at? Where did I catch it down at? So I got in around, what was the big ass move down? Was that, no, I didn't get the gap down. So it's probably, what day is that with at the bottom there, with the way at the bottom of the green candle?
That was August 29th.
So where the hell Friday was? It was a big ass dip everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything went down. Amazon went down. Everything went down. But the futures really, really play a huge part in this, man. And I don't give a damn what technical analysis says. You know, that shit does what it wants to do.
Yeah, this is Friday. This is Friday's move right here. But that's the very last red candle in that 4-hour chart.
I'm waiting on to catch up here. Oh shit! I keep hitting pause, man. I'm like, why in the hell you ain't moving? Good, what's it? Hold on, let me fast forward. All right.
Man,
so,
Mr. Lloyd, I'm telling you right now, if I were you, man, I would just give yourself more time. I mean, I understand you don't. Well, I mean, do you just not want to pay more expensive? You know.
Well, here's the thing, man. I don't mind giving myself time, but this market doesn't allow for swing trading to me. It doesn't really. I cannot swing trade, man. I cannot swing trade like I used to. Anytime you hold on to.
I don't understand what you're saying by that, man. I'm looking at this chart.
Like Google, for example.
Look at this
Google
chart.
is a prime example.
You can't swing this.
I can swing it now, but now that it's going the opposite direction. But the problem is, man, that move Friday, it would have scared the shit out of anybody. I was panicking because over 50% of my investment was gone within a few hours, and it left me contemplating like, damn, did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Did I set something on the chart wrong or something? But But anyways, man. So the moral of the story is this: is that I don't like playing like that. I really don't. I mean, I had confidence that it was going to go up, and it did. I sold the contract for $24, and right now it's sitting at $30 a contract. I could have waited.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm trying not to let greed in, man. But it's very, very difficult. And can you just imagine sitting there and looking at a negative that much over the weekend? I mean,
but that's why you give yourself more time, man. Because sometimes, and especially in options, you know, you sometimes do start off in the hole. But if your analysis is correct, you know, you end up, you know, somewhere in the middle half. Let's say if you give yourself a month or 2 months on the option, you know, whether it be 3 weeks or 2 weeks, you end up, you know, hopefully close or in the deeper in the money. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to work. These close expirations don't give you the time, and then you're also working against, you know, the value, that losing value, the time value. So it's just, it's I don't know, it's hard, man. You putting, I think, undue stress on yourself, you know?
Right. And price line ain't no joke, man. That damn thing swing like Anaconda, okay? Yeah. I mean, it ain't no 50-cent swing.
Right.
You'll be up. I remember what was it on that Friday? I was like down 260. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna hold it out. I'm gonna wait it out." Then I made a positive 180. I said, "Okay, I'm good." And next thing you know, it's down negative 300. I said, "Oh shit! I mean, what's going on here?" So that shit has some big ass swings. And if you guys want some hair in your chest, man, play some price line where a dollar move is just like a little strawberry seed compared to anything else.
Yeah, we'll see.
So what's up with this Apple, man? I have never seen you get so excited over some damn Apple, man. I mean,
because this is the 10th anniversary Apple iPhone, and I think the market could go crazy. Now, I asked you guys in the chat room, the Discord room, and again, shout out to all the people in the Discord room, whether or not you think this is going to go higher. Many of you said no. You think it's actually going to sell off. So I didn't take. You know, actually, I did. I bought one in the money call. Excuse me. I bought one call. So that's it. That's pretty much my only exposure. Obviously, you know, if it just, you know, runs crazy in the AM, I might add to it. But other than that, that's all I got.
It sounds like I SDOCQ, Dave. You was like, hey, if it goes, I'll throw my whole account up in there. But but here's the thing, man. This is my prediction. I think that this shit's gonna go. It's gonna go flatline or stable, whatever you want to call it, and all the option buyers are going to get screwed because they buy way out the money, thinking it's going to be a huge ass gap, or up or down. I think it's going to be neutral, and so that the option prices don't surge. Because I mean, shit, look at all those options. It was like 12,000, 15,000 options, and for one, I can't even remember which one I saw. Let me take a look here. What strike price? It was like 15,000, 20,000 contracts. I mean, you think those market makers are really going to push that strike price up there so you can get your lottery ticket money?
We'll see. I mean, it's about supply and demand. I mean, it's not. You know, if buyers want it and they're willing to pay, then that's what's going to happen, man. At the end of the day, these brokers want the commission. So, you know, it's both sides, man. And at the end of the day, we'll see what happens, you know.
Right. Well, let me ask you something. How often have you got into a play anticipating the news, either yay or nay on the day? I mean, I guess earnings is probably a good way, but but a non-earnings play, I mean, here I just think it's not predictable as you know. I mean, for example, earnings. I mean, should you seen earnings stay neutral even though they have a good day or bad day, or they had a good day and it still goes the other way, or a bad day and it goes up?
Yeah, so, I mean, again, we're not in the prediction business. We're in the probability business, and that's all we're just trying to determine is what is the probability of us ending, you know, with the result that we're looking for. And you know, when you have a situation where, you know, one of the biggest companies in the world is coming out with a new version of their hottest selling product, the probability is that it could, generate more buying interest in the stock. So that's what I'm suggesting. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm hoping that, by again, what I just said is the probability is in my favor that it's going to go higher. But we'll see. Time will tell.
Well, here's my prediction. I think it's going to stay neutral. Maybe 50 cents, on a, or maybe $1 at the most, but I think it's going to fluctuate. I think something's going to happen in the futures where it's going to crash and bring it down a little bit. So I don't think the option price is really going. I think they're going to screw the option players. So that's my prediction. So we'll see what happens, man.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Cool, man. Have a good show. Thanks, man. All right.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Lloyd. Shout out to Mr. Lloyd for the call, as always. Thank you so much, sir. And, again, we're not talking about very expensive options here. Again, I bought one call, just outside of the money, the 162. Well, it's actually, it's basically on the line, 162.50 call strike. They were going for $168 a call. That's where they ended up the day at. Paid it just slightly more than that. But we'll see what happens. And for the September 15th, they need to go all out. We're looking for the quick move higher and then get in, get out for an overnight move, and not necessarily have to deal with the decay on the option. So we'll see what happens. It could go. It might not. We'll see. 919, Bad Scientist. What's up?
Hey, Sal. How's it going?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous, man. This Ichimoku cloud is just, I'm killing it. I'm killing it in my picks. So right now, I'm playing the alphabet of F. F as in Frank. I'm in 4 of 5 of these. You talked about one of them. That one I'm not in, which is FALC.
Okay.
But I am in the one where I've got a lot of money riding on it. I'm still staying in that because it's staying above the cloud. It's keeping consistently where it needs to be for me not to panic. Mm-hmm. The beauty of the cloud, right now Mr. Lloyd was talking about swing trading. He probably knows the cloud more than I do, and if he just trusted in that, because the one thing that support and resistance gives you, which is what the cloud gives you, is many places to pick, beyond which, if as long as the price is not crossing it on the downside in terms of support, you don't need to panic because it gives you all levels of support. So FTEK, I'm still in that one. Not panicking, because even though it comes down and then it goes back up, it's still above the cloud. It's still bullish. That's what even the 26 days projected into the future, suggesting that this stock is still bullish. Yeah. So I'm still in that one.
We're just waiting for that volume to come in, man. That's the only issue here. It was just we need that volume to come in.
Yes. But the ones that are doing well, FALC I couldn't get into because I was at work, and often that gets in the way of my trading every other week. But the 3 that I am in is FUTL. This one I called last week. In fact, there's a couple of OTC stock people that I follow on Twitter, and one of them asked me about FUTL. I told him, and I said specifically, when it moved a little bit last week, that was 4 days ago, it looked like it was testing 002, and I said this one has to test 002 and has to break that. What did it do today? It tested 002, and now it's above it. It's still a long ways to go. If you look at it, it's still fairly oversold. So I'm actually in that one pretty heavy, and I'm up, in a very, very good way on that. I'm holding. Even if I sell, I'm still happy. The other one is FBIT, which looks like it's still pulled back a little bit, but
not bad. What's the ticker for that one?
The one I said right now?
Yeah.
Oh, Fitbit, sorry.
Oh, okay, Fit, okay.
Yeah, Fit, sorry. So FIT looks like it pulled back, over the last couple of days. But once again, being in the cloud, I don't panic because my entry was spot on. I'm in Fitbit at, what was it, 588. Okay. So I'm comfortably over that one. Right now, it's not even, for me, that's not even a substantial pullback because it tested one of the resistance points and then still closed above it. And remember, you always talk about this, the 200-day moving average. Yeah. It crossed that 3 days ago and is still above it. Yeah. So until it crosses, 610, and it starts breaching that on the downside, I'm not panicking. And once again, because the cloud gives you multiple points of resistance and support, the key is just not to panic. The three of these stocks that I'm in right now, I bought them 4 days ago, and I'm up on all three of them. And of course, the other one that you have in your list is Frta. I got into this one at 663, and now it's 423. I'm not, once again, it's way past where I got into, but it's all about using support resistance off of the cloud. This one was more of a low RSI condition, breaching the 9-day moving average and the 26-day moving average, or the equivalence of those on the Ichimoku cloud. So the key is knowing what price you need to get in. Another one that I called on Friday was DTII. This one crossed the cloud on Friday, and I'm like, this one is going up again, because especially for the OTCs, when huge volume comes in and you see that there's a lot of movement to the upside, if it breaks the cloud, there's a chance that even if it doesn't continue on the second day, what it will do is it will pull back a little, kind of do a pseudo consolidation, and be back up again. So DTII, if you'd gotten in at the end of the day on Friday, or when it broke that cloud, today you would have been up 40-something% on that. So the key is looking for these really, really good setups, and looking for especially the cloud breakouts. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You don't need to look for any of these because you can get them off of stock charts. If you go to stockcharts.com, you can look at the stocks that have broken above the cloud. You don't even need to do the work because it's done for you. Yeah, then list all of those stocks. It gives you the OTC stocks that are above the cloud, the NASDAQs, whatever exchange you want. And then all you look at beyond that point is something like relative volume, the price of the stock. You can then look at the 50-day and 200-day moving average. But I'm telling you guys, this is something that it's night and day for me now in terms of my accuracy and picking the right companies. Yeah. It's just, I guess, like you said, when you get to something like Azfl, where that's really, really overbought, what do you do with something like that? Yeah. And the key is find a stock that's kind of trying to establish that. I remember even when I called Azfl, it broke the cloud, and it was kind of floundering a little bit, kind of bouncing off the cloud a bit. But then it broke it again in a more definitive.
Your Ichimoku crowd keeps fucking up my charts. God, every time I put this Ichimoku, it just fucks up because there's just so many inputs and shit. But it keeps fucking up my chart. Sorry. Like, what the fuck? But I know it's you've been using it and it works and whatnot like that, but it just keeps fucking up my damn chart. But
sorry about that.
No,
you were asking
about
your fault,
Apple,
bro. Right? You're asking about Apple?
Yeah, we were asking a little bit about Apple. What's up with Apple, though? I mean,
Yeah,
somebody in the chat room said
Apple,
we shouldn't be predicting, we should be reacting. But I mean,
no, but you're so right. I mean, you're looking for probabilities here and probabilities of hitting resistances and support. Right now, Apple, the prospect, the future of Apple is very bright. You've got it way above the cloud. The future says it's still an uptrending chart. The support to the downside, because most people are saying, well, it could come down. Right now, today, it tested on the low side. It tested, what was it, like 160 on the downside. But once again, that was one of the support lines on the cloud. For me, I think for it to start telling me that it should be going down is probably when it starts testing levels of like 155, which coincidentally coincides with the 50-day moving average at 155. Once again, even 155 on its own is still above the cloud. You're talking about, for it to actually convincingly be bearish, it has to break 152, and that's just the top of the cloud.
Yeah.
The bottom of the cloud, it's got to break 151. So 151, I would say, is the point of no return. Until that happens, if you can take the risk, I wouldn't even bother getting out of that stock until it breaks under 151.
There it is, man. Thank you so much, Bats. I really appreciate it, bro.
Thanks, Al. Take care.
All right. Shout out to Bat Scientist and Mr. Lloyd. Thank you to both of them. Thank you to both of them. And again, and just, not to spend too much time on that, but I mean, for $160 to get an opportunity to, make, gosh, you can't possibly double your money tomorrow if the market just really loves what they put out. You also, had I think the 160s going for 80 cents. So that's $80 for an opportunity to play 100 shares of this now $50 billion market cap company. Mr. Lloyd, you're back on. What's up?
Hey, I wanted to comment on Bat's cloud, and just to give a little more information. Here's the thing. So I sat down with a trader probably about a couple of weeks ago to do a live session, and what I've noticed is that we all have different settings on our chart. And so whatever you're looking at, Bats, you're going to have to show me what you're looking at, because my cloud settings are different than your cloud settings. And so because the cloud should be used for trending stocks, you can't use it for short term. You have to use it for longer time frames. And some people can use it for, they can say they can use it for, 15 minutes or 1 minute, but it's really mainly for trending purposes, to find out where the trend is. So, but you ever notice that, or you try to converse with somebody about a stock chart and find out it's totally different?
Yeah, because I know people's settings are different. I mean, also depends on the broker you're using and whatnot. But I mean,
right.
But the differences can be minuscule too. So especially if you're using the standard settings that come
right.
with typically the indicator. But yeah, man, appreciate that, Mr. Lloyd.
But here, I got one last thing for you, man. Okay. Do you think technicals really apply for sub penny plays?
For some, yes or no.
Because he was applying it to sub penny plays.
Yes. I think RSI, the Ichimoku, I don't know. Again, I don't know too much about the Ichimoku, but I would definitely say moving averages like your 200, your 100s, your RSIs, money flow index, absolutely. Right. But obviously, again, the ones like Bats uses and a couple other trivial ones like Elliott Wave and all that crap, I don't think they have anything to do with, with moving OTC stocks.
Right. Well, cool, man. That's all I wanted to input on, man. But I'll let you get back to the show, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right, thanks.
So shout out to both of those. I mean, interesting points from Mr. Lloyd. Interesting points, but I don't doubt that indicators work on everything. I mean, they work on everything. Yes, even if they are promoted plays, they do work. All right, but QSIM, nice move on QSIM. Looks like DTII, the one Bats just had us pull up. Very similar looking stock. You know, in fact, today on QSIM, you had the opposite. You just had more people jump in on this opportunity today on QSIM. And this is a stock that's ran before, by the way. If you go back in history here, you can see, you know, back in March, QSIM did some things. So QSIM, nice move on that. All right, let's go back here and check out what you guys are looking at. iPass. All right, let's go back to the tickers. iPass up 4%. Looks oversold here. It's been oversold for some time, and you just haven't really gotten that move yet. iPass, NASDAQ company, trading at 55 cents a share, 1 million shares traded today. Unusual volume for the stock. Looks like they're a Wi-Fi or internet service provider, providing internet and Wi-Fi capability, with Wi-Fi capability to airports, airplanes, things like that, and hotels. All right. It's very small. This is a nano-cap company trading with a $35 million market cap here. So very small company. Learn a little bit more about it. I think you got a lot of upside here, but I don't know what's going on. Quite a lot of upside here and very little downside risk, you know, in this chart here, especially with all of that support at these levels between 50 and 65. But, you know, what's the chances of going higher? Just let us know what those are. I'd love to take a look at it. Yeah, I see here definitely a California-based technology company. Let me see here. Shop. Yeah, Shopify. Somebody saying Mr. Lloyd saying Shopify is going to be the next Amazon. Man, if I could have got myself on, you know, into some Amazon back in 01, 02, 03, you know, be a millionaire by now. Some of them Amazon options, just buying the leaps every year. Load up with everything you got. Shopify is doing very good, man. As you can see here, it's been a very solid mover for 2016 and 2017. Going back to $30 a share back in January of 2016. Now you're at 117. Throw all your money at it. They're doing well. Beautiful chart. Is there ever a time to do market orders or limit always? I don't know. I like market orders, especially when I'm shorting. You know, I'll do a market order when I'm shorting because I don't mind buying high. I just hate sometimes when they get you in low. That's the thing. But when the stock is moving, you can do a market order. You know, especially when you want out quick. A market order when you want out quick sometimes, and you're getting your ass kicked, a market order sometimes is your best friend, man. Especially on some of these, you know, NASDAQ runners, you know, that we just saw today on FALC. You know, you have a situation like that where, you know, a couple moves and you're down 3-4%, you know, you don't have time to put in a limit order because you're falling on your ass. You need to get up out of there fast. Mr. Lloyd said you got in at 30. Okay. $702, you're on the air. What's up?
Hello?
702.
Please let me speak. Hello, my name is Gary. I'm calling from the United Postal in regards to your postal deliveries.
Man, y'all see this shit.
Well, you have an overdue bill from 2016
Get
to
out of here, you damn nigger!
All right, INPX. All right, let's take a look at INPX. All right, another oversold play, IT services. Consulting, again, very small company. Bam, this is smaller than the one we just looked at. This deserves to trade on. There's some OTC companies bigger than this. It's got a $2 million market cap. Very small company, INPX. Very, very small company. Obviously, man, it looks like they haven't been doing so well. As you can see, the stock is very beat up. Taking a lot of risk here because this company's probably borderline bankruptcy right now. So be very, very careful of this one. INPX. All right. RMHB. Rocky Mountain High Brands. This is we talked about Rocky Mountain High Brands back in the summer. As you can see, it did some things back in the summer. Early January too, did some things. Rocky Mountain High Brands. They had a couple of drinks out there that they were putting out, and but you know, obviously things went sour. You know, are they going to come back? Yes, I think one day they will make a comeback, but you know, very much like AZFL and RSII, you're going to have to let these things kind of bleed out, because like many pump and dumps, you know, you have some people who just refuse to sell, even though they're big time bag holders, and they just need to be bled out. They just need to get to a point where, you know, they just will go ahead and lower the price of their shares and just move on, you know. So that's basically what's happening with stocks like Rocky Mountain High Brands and RSII and, you know, look at plays like this and OWCP, you know, OWCP. These are bag holders people who, you know, just eventually realize that they're never going to get what their stock is worth, and eventually they just go ahead and lower their limits and take what they can get. And that has to happen until all of these suckers are basically long gone, and then the chart can start running again. You know? Okay, so can I make a detailed video about reading every number on L2? I've never seen, I've seen some people say that they don't even use indicators. All they do is read level 2. There's a guy on YouTube who does options, and he says all he does is basically look at level 2. Look, I don't try to make trading complicated. Like many of you, I came to trading through Tim Sykes. I love his videos. I love the way he teaches. He's very simple. You know, I'm looking for support, resistance. You know, I'm not trying to complicate things by looking at level 2. He's got a level 2 video, but it's not, you know, trying to read every single buy and sell. You're looking for large sizes, you know, where support is possibly developing, where support is slipping, things like that, you know. I don't think there is a strategy that it's just level 2 only and that's all you need. I don't know. I hope I'm not trying to shit on anybody's strategy or anything like that, but I just think you're full of shit when you say stuff like that. You know. AMLH bag holders, yeah, there are a lot of AMLH, and I warned a lot of people about AMLH. I warned a lot of people about that stock, man. I knew that brother was a scam, and I never try to shit on a brother trying to come up, but I mean that, you're a fucking scammer, man. Like, if you're full of shit, saying he ran the company and all that stuff. I knew he didn't run that company. CHIT. CHIT. I don't see what's going on here. Oil and gas exploration play. Don't know what's going on here, man. Up 30% with today's move. Low volume, though. Bought 500,000 shares for January. They went for no warning, no legitimate product, using big money. Damn, Cool Cats. Fuck, that fucking sucks, man. KOPN up 2% on KOPN. All right, let's see here. There's got to be, today was kind of all over the place. It looks like I felt like the large caps were really the runners today. Although we had some strong movement on the small cap side, there were really stocks we didn't see coming. They all kind of had their own situations. KOPN up 2%. Damn, that's an ugly looking chart though, man. I don't know what that chart is doing. 9 million share float on INPX. Let me take a look at that again. Well, I mean, let's bring in the volume then, man. If it's only got a 9 million share float, get on the company to drop some news or something. Make it happen. Because right now, if it's only got a 9 million share float, that hasn't been doing it any favors. They got to drop some news. They got to, get people excited about the company. Let me see here. SHLP. We took a look at that. Yeah, RMHB wasn't the water bottle company. The water bottle company was HIPH. That was HIPH was the water bottle company. God damn, which fell on its ass today. Shit. I pulled that thing up. I was like, damn. All right, lost almost 70% of its value today. Now, you want to talk about dip buying? That's your opportunity right here, HIPH. That might be your opportunity there if you're willing to be a little bit patient in it. But damn. 636, you're on the air. What's up?
Hi, it's Clarence. Your kid was over with some friends at my pool the other day.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
All right. Back at it. We're going to have to do the chat room thing again. We're going to have to do the chat room thing where people come into the chat room again. ECR, Eclipse Resources. On ECR. Let me see here. NYSC company too. Again, let's see here. You've had some, really low volume days in the stock. Again, nothing interesting here. I want to get some of you guys into short selling. I know that I understand the show is so long biased, but there's a lot of money to be made when stocks go down. And you're going to see that especially in tickers like FALC. You're going to see that tomorrow in KURA. KURA today, first down day. That is blood in the water. That's blood in the water for, shorters tomorrow in KURA. That is on the top of their list. It's a stock that's got about $6, $5 to $6 worth of value built in to that move based on the news that they got on that. I think it was like phase 2 or something like that. So you got a lot of value to give back on KURA. It's also one of Tim Sykes' setups. First down day, it's a great opportunity for you to jump in on a short in the stock. So, for the shorters out there, KURA, there are shorts available on Interactive Brokers. I think about 200,000 shares to be exact available to short. So more than enough out there. If you're under the age of 25, you got $3,000. You should be with Interactive Brokers. Okay, that's $3,000. Best broker out there for shorting. If you want to add that to your game. Oh yeah. Oh, you already know, man. You already know, Jeff. There. Well, I'm biased on the screener. My best screener is, and I say the best in the world is Equity Feed. So I'll always be biased on that. They support the show. Well, nobody supported it. All right. I'll definitely look into that. Relative. All right, let me see here. TGGI, Trans Global Group. OTC ticker 0004. So obviously, man, you're at the beginning of something here. As you can see, zoom out a little bit. You're slowly kind of working yourself out of those triples. See some volume has recently came into the stock. You're gonna have to be patient on this one, man. That float looks super huge, though. That float looks super huge. And again, make sure the filings are legit too, man. You know, make sure you're not getting a ticker that's a stop sign that somebody's just bragging about to get you to buy their shares. All right. And that you're actually buying a legit pump. You know, pumps there's nothing wrong with buying pumps. Azfl is a pump right now. You know, DTII is a pump right now. There's nothing wrong with pumps. You just want to make sure it's really, you know, going to be moved. All right, rig, oil and gas. Don't like rig. Rig is a reverse split stock that's reversed a couple times. So rig going back to the single digits, low fives, low threes possibly. It's been there before. It used to be a 15-cent stock before a reverse split not too long ago. You can go back in time and see that. But rig, shitty stock. But Kenny, you said you're making a little money on it. Okay. Yeah, if you are, that's fine. Is DCTH still worth holding? I need to get updated on DCTH. I know Africa Emporium, I think he's given up on that one. He's still watching it. Again, you might want to clarify that with him in the Discord room and hit him up there. And again, shout out to the people in the Discord room. If you're not a member, join us in the Discord room every morning. That's where a lot of guys in here go to trade and find tickers, guys who trade during the day. The link is in the description. Okay. RWLK. This is an interesting company because this is a company that makes robotic suits for people who are suffering from paralysis. So, you know, there's another company with another ticker out there that has a very similar business. I can't remember what that ticker is. Somebody I'm sure in here can remind me. But there is another ticker with a very similar business. And in fact, the other ticker actually was able to get an insurance company to cover their product. And the last time I looked at them, they were trading in like the high sixes. They were trading in the high sixes. And they were a former OTC stock too. It's been a while since I looked them up. But RWLK, again, they sell robotic suits. Nice move on the stock today. It's one of those ones that, again, when news drops, I mean, it's very favorable for the stock. But again, that's because it has such a, you know, unique technology that any kind of news in you know, giving the idea that maybe an insurance company will cover Rewalk's product, I can definitely send the stock going higher. But they have yet to find an insurance company to cover their product. But I know the other stock did. I can't remember what the other ticker was. Can't remember what the other ticker was. Let me see here. RWLK competitors. What was the other one? I know they had a competitor. Gosh, yeah, it's gonna bother me, but I can't remember. EKSO, yes, that's the one. EKSO. Thank you, Bats. Appreciate that. It was EKSO. Damn. Okay. Well, shit. Life's turned around for EKSO. Trading at $1.19. Trading now at $1.19. But yeah, EKSO, former OTC stock, got uplisted to the NASDAQ. There was a lot of excitement about an OTC stock, getting uplisted and the technology behind the company. But it looks like things unfortunately haven't worked out for EKSO. As you can see here, when they got uplisted a couple years ago, there was a lot of excitement for the stock, but looks like things just haven't worked out for EKSO. iRobot was buying someone out. All right, let's take a look at Mark. M-A-R-K, 353, up 26% today. Man, today's a really kind of one of those days where, I mean, it's just not, you don't see that one ticker. And you're going to have days like this in the market where, you know, you're just not going to see that stock that's possibly giving you a good secondary move after a move today. Go figure, we were bringing up Travel Centers America last week for those of you guys who remember. And, you know, TA does a 15% move today. I looked at that stock last week right here on the show. I didn't see it, but nice move on Travel Centers America, up 15% today to 375. You know, I'm seeing a lot of a lot of stocks with a lot of opportunities to short, but I don't see too many swing trades right now. Don't see too many swing trades. All right. What's going on, Tyson Bats? Yeah, trends are up. Yeah. The trends are up. I don't see any good two days, 3-day moves for small caps. I think obviously, you know, if you go long the large cap stocks, you know, the McDonald's of the world, the Amazons of the world, I mean, you're just going to win. You're going to win week in and week out. But don't see too many small caps that we can say buy today and then this time next week you're going to be up real nice. Don't see those just yet. Again, shout out to the SEC for coming back down on T2 from T3. So now we're going to at least be able to do more for many of you guys who are under the PDT. JT, okay, so we got some people bringing in INPX again. INPX, we got some INPX pumpers in here. PPHM. It's definitely done some things in the past. All right, definitely done some things in the past. We're going to start bringing up some charts of stocks that, you know, have gone quiet since they really made big moves earlier in the year. Start looking at those again and seeing maybe if there's a possibility that they can catch fire like they used to. You know, catch fire like they used to. We had a stock called PULM go alive again. If you guys remember PULM, and it looks like that one's PULM. Everybody was excited about that last week. Now it looks like the party's over for PULM. Another ticker we were excited about last week was EARS. You know, EARS was, you thought was going to run, but EARS, no way, Jose. IMMU was another one. IMMU. All right. IMMU still actually doing pretty well. We saw it sell off last week, but way to bounce back. IMMU, not the cheapest stock in the world. I understand it's a $12 stock. Probably looking for something cheaper. I saw people earlier in the chat room bringing up GoPro. Huge move on GoPro. We saw that last week, and nice way to kind of stay above that gap. It's 1092 is the close today on that one. 17 million shares traded on GoPro. Nice move. I mean, that's a long time since we've seen GoPro do a move like that. Kenny Dunn says you can't bring yourself to support McDonald's. They sell poison. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, that poison tastes good to a lot of people. That poison tastes good to a lot of people. Pphm, won't be they running MBVX. Yeah, I mean, because I'm trying to find a play that tomorrow we can, you know, possibly at least one or two that tomorrow to keep your eyes on. And I don't see it. Yeah, I really don't see it for small caps. Obviously, you know, if you've been enjoying the OTC runs and ACFL and DTII, by all means, continue to watch those. But for my NASDAQ people, I just, unless you like to short, I don't see something to get excited about tomorrow morning. All right. MBVX, maybe MBVX. You know, we'll see what happens on that one. MBVX, maybe you see on that one. That's a nice looking candlestick with today's move on MBVX. All right. That sudden volume definitely did that ticker very, very well today. PAYX, Paychecks, outsourcing staffing company. Sure. I mean, if you can buy 10,000 shares of it, looks like it can make you a lot of money. Nice move on that one with today's move. But, man, that chart is all over the place. Look at that. This is a $50 stock. That chart is all over the place. TRXC, Transcentrics Incorporated. Nice move here for August. Volume finally catching up with the chart. 2.9 million shares traded today, only 2%. Man, that candlestick with today's move shows a lot of pressure towards the downside in the ticker, man. You got a lot of resistance up there at 130. Figure out why that is. But that's the longest candlestick in the run. You know, in the run. In fact, you can't find a recent candlestick, you know, with selling pressure that deep. So could that be the beginning of a pullback, or maybe just an opportunity for dip buyers to jump in? Interesting candlestick for that move, though. LINU. We'll find out tomorrow. Obviously, if it puts up numbers, we'll talk about it. LINU. It's a stock we followed here. This stock recently reverse split. It was once one of these companies that traded for 15, 16 cents not too long ago. Sold off very aggressively because of that. As you guys know, reverse splits very much a great opportunities to short, especially if they're already really shitty companies, which most are. That's why they have to reverse split. WLL, that's the oil and gas play. Yeah, nice move on that one. You know, we looked at this last week as a possible, you know, move based on the hurricane. But again, as I pulled up the price of crude, we're actually lower than where we were last week. We're actually lower than where we were last week. Last week we were talking about 49.50, 49.70 as we were going into Thursday. Now we're at 48.05 on crude, so almost $1 cheaper, you know, on crude, and that's not helping a lot of these stocks that are already greatly oversold on a lot of them. UNXL headed to OTC markets. Are you serious? Wow. UNXL headed to OTC markets. Man, that's sad. But we had a big winner in UNXL shorts. I think Tim Sykes shouted him out. I think the guy got like, I think it was like $11,000 or something on that short. Nice move on that. SYN. 3.8 million shares traded on that. Missed a move on that one. I love that move here in SYN. We pulled this up a couple times here, you know, on the chart. Looks like you had some opportunities to really ride this. Again, that candlestick is very telling on SYN. Very telling on that candlestick, Desert Edge. You might want to be careful on that one. Yeah, it's a creeper, though. You're absolutely right. Yeah, MRNS, man. That, you know, I didn't want to say anything about this one because I think this is a short tomorrow. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But the fact of the matter is the way that sold off in the morning like that. Let's look at the 5-minute. The way that sold off in the morning like that, boy, that was some scary looking. That was some scary sell-off. I mean, imagine, you know, working your way to 540, thinking this is going to keep going, and next thing you know, not even 2 hours later, man, you were at 414. You had lost almost $1.30 in value. Not even 2 hours later, and then the fact that the stock sold off into the day, basically at support, has me telling, you know, you guys that I think this is probably not going to hold tomorrow. Although the news was pretty good. I mean, the news was actually pretty good. You know, the fact that they have a promising drug for epilepsy underway. That's good news. But the stock just didn't find buyers at those higher prices. Okay. Sad news for the people who bought up there at the 540s. As you can see, they were quickly selling their shares. But did find some support, you know, at the 415, 416. And again, that's exactly where you closed off at, as you can see here on the 5-minute chart. So I think in the morning you have some people who, again, don't know what they're doing and thinking they might be able to scare off some shorts, which no doubt I'm sure you have some people who decided to go in short at the end of the day here. You could get a nice squeeze here. You could get a nice squeeze. And we've seen some great squeezes in biotechs. We've seen some really good squeezes in biotechs happen. In fact, if I pull up that PULM chart again, let me see. What was that? That chart. There it is. You know, so we've had some really good squeezes. This is PULM a couple of days ago. So we've had some good squeezes here, you know, where you can get buyers who can catch somebody slipping and have them run into cover. And you might very well, you know, be able to make it happen. ARWR, another biotherapeutic play. Let's go back to the daily chart. You're covering the gap here from November. I think that would have been a nice move there if you go back. Yeah, well, that would have been a really nice move if you saw this earlier from that gap down and breaking that 2. You're at 343 now, working the gap higher. Where's your beginning? We're at 421. So 1.6 million shares traded today. You've been working it up real nice and slow. I mean, nothing crazy here, and it's holding support very, very well. Those are some real nice candlesticks moving higher. As you can see there, people have been taking some profits, but those buyers have been replaced as the chart moved higher. Yeah. I don't see this bull market stopping. You know, for a while I just thought maybe this could be the beginning of the end, but again, now with Trump getting that blank check, you know, I don't see this being the beginning of the end. I thought if the Democrats had put up a good fight and we had some fiscally conservative Republicans who decided to put the budget first, maybe we can slow down this market, but I just don't see it happening now. Ecos 0003 up 200%. Yeah, I just don't see it happening now. Probably wouldn't. What's the SPY? 249. 249. Why not December? I mean, we'll be here in December. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at staring 260 SPY, you know, where we're, you know, could be as much as $20 higher. You know, could be as much as $20 higher. I mean, we're only in September. We got October, November, all month of December. You know, if not 20, at least 10. At least $10 higher. You know, there's just nothing to stop this run. Ascena Retail Group. You got a few retail stocks there that are trying to do their thing again. I saw Macy's. There are a few other plays out there that I think, you know, trying to do their thing in retail. Again, these are not the cheapest in the world. I think we had Best Buy. We took a look at Best Buy. Best Buy still doing its thing. Still doing its thing, fighting its way higher. I said that 57 would probably be the tops of Best Buy. Looks like you're already trying to figure that out. And Best Buy. So hopefully you get a good day in that tomorrow. Again, with the iPhone launch, I figure it'll be in Best Buy. Being that Best Buy does have Sprint stores built into their locations. HTGM. HTGM, that was one stock that we really loved in the summer. If you go back in April, HTGM, but again, you know, left a lot of people hanging there in HTGM. It was actually a gap down. That was like $3 one night. It was just horrible. Been selling off ever since. Have we reached bottom? You know, we've had a couple opportunities to say that, and they've all failed, as you can see in HTGM. So at this point, you know, who trusts this stock anymore? But African Pphm, you said watch it for a possible move. Well, we will. If the stock is moving, we're going to talk about it. If the stock is moving, we're going to talk about it. We've seen multiple huge runners here. Obviously, most of them, you know, the 200 plus club is typically on the OTC side, but we've had a couple really, really good NASDAQ runners as well in the show's history. ATOS. Dang, missing the move. Missing the move, man. It's looking like God, man, it looks like a short, but boy, that's a lot of volume in the stock. You might have another day here, man. Look at that, 4.6 million shares coming into the stock. Looks a lot like KURA, where you just had a stock that, you know, barely trades any volume. I mean, this was a very illiquid stock before today. I mean, trading just over 300,000 shares. Now, all of a sudden, bringing in 4.6 million, that's a lot of day traders in there. Many of whom aren't loyal to the company, and they're going to be looking to sell to somebody. And that's looking like a possible short. Although it's only 60 cents a share, still got some meat on the bones. Downside opportunity of probably 10 cents a share. But what was the news? What got it moving higher here? A conference call announcement? Is that what I'm seeing here? Conference call announcement scheduled for September 14th at 2 p.m. Wow. So a conference call announcement moved the stock 25%? Yeah, see, now that's obviously, I mean, you probably, you know, well, you do have you got a catalyst for a second day move, being that the call is very close. I mean, it's going to be this week. So I would watch that. I would definitely watch that. But, boy, I'll tell you, if that's a disappointment, that thing's coming up right back down hard. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. When you buy stock short to sell, is there a specific amount of shares that you typically buy? Well, no. I mean, it depends on how much you're working with. All right, you calculate what your return and all that's going to be before you go into it. Yeah, you never want to bet the farm on anything. I mean, it all depends on, you know, the size, like how much you're working with. I mean, you know, if you're only working with $3,000 or something like that, then maybe you're not putting up more than $600, you know, at a time. You know, because you always want to give yourself an opportunity to trade tomorrow. I can't tell you how many people have watched my show and then all of a sudden they disappear, and I find them on Twitter like, "Hey man, what happened? Where you going?" They just bet their ranch on something, and unfortunately, their account is so small now. They just, why even bother? So always give yourself an opportunity to trade tomorrow. Atos is one to watch. All right, so we got some people in the chat room giving you guys some tickers to watch tomorrow. But, you know, I just hate the fact that sometimes you have days like this where it's just, you know, it's just kind of one of those days, man, where there's just really nothing out there that just stands out to you. You know, but that's why, again, I really suggest you guys add shorting as well as option trading to your repertoire, you know what I mean? Because, you know, there's some options out there you want to be able to purchase so you can benefit from, you know, this market trend that's going higher, you know, and short the stocks you know that are going to be losers, or buy puts if you're just not comfortable with shorting and putting that kind of risk up, you know, whether it's shorting the VISCs or shorting, you know, inverse ETFs, or, you know, gold, or whatever it is. I mean, you got to be able to participate in something else when there's nothing on the small cap side. You know, I'm not saying always just find something to trade, but I always believe you got to have some kind of money out there working for you. You know. FALC was sweet. Yeah, FALC was a beautiful, beautiful trade today. Beautiful trade today. I mean, we get that at least once a week. We get that at least once a week where you have a play like this. And again, I don't remake the wheel. I just use what, you know, Tim puts out, and it's worked for him and a lot of other traders. You know, look at this 5-minute chart. I mean, just this is basically all you got to do. You know, it's just beautiful. Your moving averages. You know, it's just a beautiful chart. Beautiful chart. I don't know how many times we can show this over and over and over again using your basic scanner. You know, just a basic momentum scanner. In fact, this was a stock that from the very get-go, I think by 9:45, it was already the #1 NASDAQ stock. So you really didn't even have to scan for it. It already kind of came up as gainer of the day at about 9:45, 9:50. Was already the top of the stock, being that it started from about, what, 45 cents? Yeah, 45 cents. So, yeah, by the time it was at 60 cents, it was already #1. Yeah. Chinese online luxury retailer offering pre-owned luxury brands. Okay. Again, I'm not a fan of IPOs, but, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, we've had a lot of IPOs go public here. And again, we talked about how Snap shitted on people. We had some guys bring up Blue Apron. I mean, look what Blue Apron did. I don't even want to look at how ugly this chart is. We've talked about Blue Apron. Blue Apron came, you know, this summer. You know, just past June, the stock's lost over 70, what was that, 70% of its value? 60, excuse me, about 60% of its value since June. Since June. So, you know, when we talk IPOs, you got to be careful with these things, man. Got to be real careful with these things. These investment banks do a really good job of selling you the story. But, you know, at the end of the day, investors like you and me decide what these things are worth. All right. Atos is one to watch. VCPS. Let's see if somebody bring it up. Last couple tickers before we get up out of here. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we have a better day on the small caps tomorrow. And again, it wasn't a bad day. It just wasn't much out there. You know, wasn't much out there. If you don't like OTCs. If you don't like OTCs. I'm looking at Rave. Let me see in volume here. Just a couple more charts. Not seeing too much of any interest, yeah. But, you know, one that I want to keep, we brought it up earlier, ACHN. I'm going to be watching ACHN. I'm going to be watching ACHN. I think that Johnson & Johnson move, you know, that's pretty shitty. Obviously, you know, that's going to affect the company's bottom line and what people think about them. But, I mean, a 22% move to the downside, that's a lot. That's a lot. So can we see ACHN possibly work their way back up to 415, 430 tomorrow? You know, can we get back in the fours? I mean, hell, getting back into the fours is a 20-cent move. And it's a $3 stock. So, you know, it could very well do it. We'll see. But I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch this. You got a lot of selling pressure on the news today. But at the same time, you did have some buyers dip buy this, as you can see here with that bottom wick. You did have, you know, people who thought that this could be a multiple day situation where we can end up back in the fours. And it looks likely. You know, it looks likely. You know, looks likely. We'll see. All right. PPHM. All right. PPHM looking good on the technicals. Looking good. Yeah, we brought that chart up earlier. ZAIS. Yeah, this is an earnings winner. It's a dangerous, never ever short of earnings winner. Nice move on this investment management company. But the volume isn't there. Only 170,000 shares traded. The volume, though, isn't there. But we'll see. Maybe that move can bring in the volume. FSNN. I saw you bring it up last week. Africa Emporium. Nice move on that stock today, up 4%. Yeah, that's another one where volume kind of dried out a little bit toward the end of the month into September. But quite a few out there. I know he's put out that list, so scan the chat room for that list. Scan the chat room for that list. I think FLC might be able to catch some people slipping tomorrow again with that move today. You know, we talked about, you know, squeezing people. And FALC, if you get a really good move higher, you could. But again, there was no catalyst for the run today. So will buyers accept, you know, squeezing a stock that really doesn't have a story? But we'll see. I'll just be here to report. All right, and we'll definitely talk about it. I know you guys are watching the Equifax collapse. You know, Equifax, here's the 5-minute. You know, we talked about Equifax, and I kind of explained to people that it's going to be very much like Best Buy, where you're going to have a multiple day sell-off. It's acting accordingly. You're going to have a multiple day. I think maybe one more day. You know, Equifax is really beat up. It's not a cheap stock. Not a cheap stock by all means. And, you know, you might have a couple days, you know, now that you got people wanting to get Congress involved. We'll see on that. You got people wanting to get Congress involved in that shit. Disney, DIS. Disney. What's going on with Disney? You know, you want to talk about a whale. That's definitely Disney. Disney's sitting on quite a bit of cash. Disney is a company that's got a lot of cash, man. I didn't really know their parks make that kind of money, but they really do. They really do, along with their media business as well. Huge media business I don't even have to explain about. They also make quite a bit of money on movies that they've already made, and they still make money on. You can go back as far as like Pretty Woman and stuff like that. I didn't even know Pretty Woman was a Disney movie. Pretty Woman was a Disney movie. I had a friend do her dissertation, and I sat in on it, and she really broke down how the movie Pretty Woman was. It's people think it's a love story, but it's actually a class story. You know, if you really dig deep and look at it again, and how I forgot the girl's name. It's like Sandra or something. Well, her character is basically a woman between 20 and 50. I mean, 20 and 25. And Richard Gere is actually a man in his like 50s in the movie, and it's about class, and she went all deep into it, man. It was a really good presentation. And I can never see that movie the same way because I see all like the stuff where she broke it down and shit. Some real deep ass shit. You might want to go back and watch that movie Pretty Woman when you get a chance. Some real deep class warfare going on in that movie. All right. What opens up in 2 days? Disney owns Star Wars rights. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I did not know Disney owns Star Wars rights. That's a moneymaker for them. Big time moneymaker. Okay, Disney World closed from Arma. All right, so if there's crapping like that on that's a dip buy opportunity then. I would just buy a call on that, put some months on that, and you'd be right back in the money. No time. Because, you know, I thought the insurers and the reinsurers were going to sell off today, and they didn't. Come to find out, what happened is that people and the market realized that the damage by Irma really wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. So the reinsurers and the insurance companies are actually, you know, many of them made back most of their losses today, but now they're looking like longs because this is an opportunity for, again, I mentioned this last week, this is an opportunity for the insurers to not only raise rates, but now they're going to be paying out significantly less than what, you know, many analysts had projected them to pay out on what the storm damage could be. So this is a long opportunity for a lot of insurance companies. Again, you know, that's for my options people. That's for my options people. So you're going to have a lot of insurance companies, I think, maybe not this earnings cycle. Well, maybe this next earnings cycle. They're going to raise rates. They're going to raise rates using Irma as an excuse, using Harvey as an excuse, and they're going to be loaded. They're going to be loaded in cash. JDST, I think that's the inverse JNUG, right? Yeah, bear. Okay, so yeah, you had JDST go up a little bit, but I figure if you're gonna buy options on, you're gonna buy puts on JDST because the market's hot, just go short the VIX. You know, just go short the FIX. You know, just go short VXX. You know, it's dirt cheap. It's kind of one of those stocks where ETFs, where you know the direction. As long as the market goes higher, you're going to continue to be in the money, and the options are relatively cheap. You know, obviously the market, you know, it's stock market, and it could go against you, and you always have risk of losing. But you know, the primary trend from most guys who were shorting the VIX was in their direction, and that was going short. So your dad stayed at home and wrote it out? Well, I mean, the people who wrote it out aren't looking so stupid right now. I mean, now I think a lot of people, you go back and watch some of those interviews, I think people were exaggerating what it could do. You know what I mean? Exaggerating what it could do. She say this girl and this fucking dog. All right. EBIO. Yeah, we took a look at. Let me take a look at EBIO real quick before we get up out of here. EBIO 11 biotherapeutics. Yeah, that's looking like a short too. First red day. Oh wow. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Wow. If there no electricity, okay. That's horrible. If that's the situation. And being that that's Florida too, and they're out of electricity. I mean, you got a lot of people out there, mostly seniors. You know, you got people down there who've got some ailments where they need these machines to basically stay alive. You know, so hopefully everybody's getting the help that they need. So MX, real quick. 27% move on that one. That one's looking pretty good, but man, I hate that candlestick, bro. That candlestick is ugly, but that was a nice move on that chart today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be out of here. It was a nice show today, but again, you know, we're going to have shows like this, and we've had many of them before, where obviously, you know, the large caps were the places to be today if you weren't already in a OTC that was running, or you didn't catch the stock of the day, which was FALC, So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I think right now, if I go look at the futures, looks like we're going to have a very nice day tomorrow. Right now, the futures up, not even a percent, but, you know, definitely not red. We're green on the NASDAQ futures, slightly red on S&P 500 futures. Gold is getting crushed right now, down $5. Oil, natural gas, nowhere. But yeah, it looks like we're going to just continue to go higher in the Qs. Looks like we're going to go higher in the Qs. All right. Our dollar is getting beat up to death. Oh, my God, the dollar. Have you guys been watching the dollar getting killed? Jesus. And look, some companies are betting from it. You know, some companies, real quick, some companies are betting from it. As you can see here, here's our dollar for the year. We're getting killed. Here's Euro USD. As you can see, the euro is rising against the dollar. We're just getting killed, man. And, you know, a cheap dollar, though, does help, you know, these companies that export goods, especially mass goods like, you know, industrial, large industrial manufacturer Caterpillar. If you look at Caterpillar, a cheap dollar works for them. You know, you can continue to have a cheap dollar. Companies like Caterpillar win. So, you know, shout out to the people who are buying cat options. You know, you're killing it as long as Donald Trump continues his policy of really devaluing the dollar, because he sees a cheap dollar as a way to develop jobs. But a cheap dollar, you know, not good for our lenders, because our lenders aren't going to buy our treasury. They're not going to buy our treasury because there's not going to be any returns on those bonds. You know what I mean? And they're already seeing issue with that, and that's why we had to raise the debt ceiling. We're going to continue to print more currency, and it's not a good thing, man. A cheap dollar is not a good thing long term, but it's working right now. And, you know, many of these companies are putting up record-breaking earnings. And, you know, but I just feel for the long term, it's really going to hurt our country. It's really going to hurt our country. Yeah, gold is down, right? Gold is down because, again, you know, we just explained why. Yeah, gold is down because we just explained why. All right. So, appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me here on the show. You know, another day down. Another day down. Hopefully you guys are putting your money in the market and benefiting from this. I really hate to hear that some of you guys are watching the show and don't have any money on the line, man. There's a lot of money to be made. You know, I can't tell you how many times that we start the show and I miss an opportunity. You know, but don't be one of these people who's just watching everybody else make money. Please don't. If you're studying, that's a different thing. But if you got the cash and you're just being scared, I mean, come on. Michael B, Poker Pro from Arizona, thank you, sir. Africa Emporium, SC Trucker, thank you. I'll be back tomorrow. Kenny Dutton, Desert Edge, Cool Cats, Trading Sensei, Donzel Essex. Join me in the Discord room. If you're a person who wants to learn about stocks, of course, go through me, millionairetradingacademy.com. Sign up. Go get yourself some Tim Sykes gear. Well, not gear, but what's it called? DVDs, or sign up to this program, whatever. But sign up to my Discord room. Join us in there, because that's how we all make money. That's how this show's been worth it to me, is the fact that I get so many tickets from you guys. The show pays for itself. Like, the time is worth it. People ask me, is it worth it doing the show? Hell yeah, it's worth doing the show. I make a lot of money from you. Some of the advice you guys give in here, absolutely worth it. Troy Tolbert, Cali Girl, thank you. Zeke, Jeff Thayer, appreciate it. Jeff the Mean Marine Thayer. Yes, indeed, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow here, same time, same place. Take care, everyone.